Hi guys, DriverLadyPro here. The reason why they call me DriverLadyPro is because I can drive like a boss, but I try to stay classy like a lady. So I am doing a live stream video. So if you are joining us during the live stream video, I am going to put the information that the video is about at the first 5 minutes of the video, but I am going to try to keep this video to 15 minutes long. So please stay with me, and this is what I want to talk about tonight. I was down, hey Tony B, shout out to Tony B. I went down and I was part of with the Chicago Rideshare Advocates and the Alliance for Independent Workers, and also the taxi drivers were there, along with livery workers, the black Uber black cars. The guy that is in the photo on the thumbnail, he is a Uber black driver, and there was another Uber black driver there in his like professional attire, but the guy in the photo is an Uber black driver also. So hi William, shout out to William. Hey William. Too many Uber drivers, Chicago cabbies, and rideshare workers join forces. They don't usually do this, but they're joining forces to urge a cap on Uber and Lyft cars. This is from the Chicago Tribune. Now, just so you know, the Tribune, the Sun-Times, ABC, NBC, all the news networks, Telemundo was there. Everybody was there getting the news story. So I'm just sharing the written one because I cannot put the NBC because it's licensed content, but I can put a link to a link down in the description. So check out the description. There is a new, I do have the news thing right there. I'll put it in the description after I get the video loaded up. Bitter rivals on the road. Chicago taxi and rideshare drivers are joining forces to seek legislation limiting the number of Uber and Lyft cars in the city. Drivers representing Chicago Rideshare Advocates and Cab Drivers United rallied at City Hall on Wednesday morning, calling for regulations similar to those recently acted in New York City, which played a 1-year moratorium on the new for-hire vehicles licenses. The goal is to increase earnings for struggling taxi and rideshare drivers while decreasing congestion on Chicago streets. There are more than 67,000 active Uber and Lyft drivers, according to the city. The number of cars that are doing Uber and Lyft in the city is too much, says, I'm sorry if I mess up his name, Namdi Awazi, Uwazi. 56, a veteran cab driver. I met this guy, and organizer of the Cab Drivers United. Chicago Taxi Drivers Union said on Tuesday, but I met at the rally, very nice fella. Okay, so Awazi, who drives for Taxi Town, said it takes him 4 days of working the influx of rideshare vehicle to cover the 475 weekly cab leasing. Some of them are even more. I have seen some of them are even more than that. It takes him 4 days to cover that, and he says the market is so diluted. The farther of the influx of rideshare vehicles has so diluted the market. The father of three and West Rogers Park resident, said he struggles to make his ends meet. He is not alone. Nearly half of Chicago's 6,999 licensed cabs are in foreclosure or idling across the, according to city data. Rideshare drivers are not doing much better, said Eli, a driver for both Lyft and Uber, who co-founder of Chicago Rideshare Advocates in August. They just got together in August. The vast majority of rideshare drivers are making minimum wage before they factor in expenses. A lot of people are fooled by that. It's before you factor in expenses. Okay, so, Martin, 36, of Northwest suburban Barrington, said Tuesday, a lot of drivers might actually be operating at a loss. When I did my taxes last year, I operated at a loss. And this is typical. Now, I know there are other drivers that do not operate at a loss, and they say, drive more, and you can just make more money driving, but I cannot drive 80 hours a week. Okay, it is typical. That is not a typical. Okay, that is great that there are other people that are making more money, but it is studies upon studies have shown that typical rideshare drivers in Chicago, that's not out of Chicago, because some other places make less than Chicago, generally take home $15 to $16 an hour. That is a typical. And then after expenses, they're actually bringing home $10 an hour. Chicago officials have no plans of capping ride-sharing service, said Rosa Escareno, Commissioner of the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, which regulates both the taxis and the rideshare industry. Chicago has crafted a licensing and regulatory framework that promotes affordable, safe transportation choices for residents and visitors who, while enabling residents to participate in local economy by working as rideshare drivers, Escanero said it said in an emailed statement, we will continue to engage key stakeholders, industry, and other cities to share best practices and information. Uber and Lyft also oppose rideshare caps. So, after all that was said and done, just so you know, there is another thing about it said city aldermen, I just caught a glance, city aldermen are considering this. So even though she had to say this is what's going on now. Right now, they don't support this. But there are city officials that may be considering this. So I'm just saying that it may be in the works. And what happened, I've seen a couple videos of what happened in New York. Everybody that was a TMP driver had to get a TMP license, and they had it for 1 year, and if they left, they lost their license, they couldn't come back. So if you were a licensed driver, you could keep it for 1 year, and if you and no new people could sign up for Uber or Lyft. So that is basically what is going to happen. And I think there was a way that if that you could, if you were leaving and coming back, you might put it on hold, or something like that. I don't know, but or you might rent it out while you're gone. Let somebody use your license while you're gone, and then you can come back. I did see that that's just word of mouth, what I saw on. And if you are even more interested about what happens after they put the cap on, there are some good videos on YouTube by New York City drivers, and I've watched them. So anyway, I just wanted to open up the conversation. We've been doing this for 10 and a half minutes. A lot of people think I'm being negative by saying I have to do something about this. And I can no longer walk around and pretend like nothing is going on. I can't, and I gotta do something. And then everybody across the board just got a pay cut. We went from 90 cents a mile to 60 cents a mile, and then we get paid per minute more, but and which makes up for while we are in traffic. But we've been telling them, please, we need to be. Tremendous amount of people have been telling them we need to be paid more. We need to be paid more. And I personally feel inside, and this is just my personal feeling, I feel this is going to nip them in the butt when it comes time for Uber and Lyft to get their IPO. I don't know if it'll stop them, but it certainly is going to give them a run for their money, because I don't think people understand. This is not just happening here. Every day I see more and more communities coming together because they're saying they're being screwed by Uber and Lyft. More and more people are waking up, and this change, all these changes that keep happening, all this, it's just another nail in the coffin. We can just sit back and say and wait, because Uber is doing it to themselves. And then Uber launched this temp agency, and I did a thing about it before, but it just, they don't say it like Travis Kalanick would come out and say, well, we can't wait to driving cars because then we can get rid of our biggest expense, the driver. But they didn't, Dara K isn't coming out and just saying that. But the whole thing is, it's like, they're not paying us more. They're pretending. They're pretending to help us out, but the biggest problem that we have is pay, and they're not upping the pay. So I have 3 people in the room right now. I need 3 thumbs up. Please tell me what your thoughts are, guys. I've heard a lot of people wish that this could come to their area, and some people aren't cut out for doing this. This takes extra work. It does take extra work. I'm not getting paid for this, but the one good thing about this is it will look good on my resume. Maybe someday I can say, well, I was part of that organization that got that turned around, maybe, So I got 3 people in a room. I know William's here. Tony B, maybe Tony B went to bed. And I don't know if Fat Man came back, but what are you guys' thoughts on it? Do you think, I know there's more now that Uber and Lyft, did this minus 60 cents per mile, they went down to 60 cents per mile instead of 90 cents per mile here in Chicago. Once they did that, more and more people are coming to us. What can we do? Hi, Tony B. Hey, shout out to Tony B, buddy. Good to see you. I was in the South Side yesterday, and I was like, man, I got so much to do, so I didn't hit you up, but we need to just, and we can do like, do a live stream together and just hang out and chill. I'll figure out some topic and you can hang out with me. That would be cool. And what's his name? Dark Road Run Joe. He said, "Oh yeah, that would be cool." So he's looking forward to it too. I appreciate all you guys stopping in. So I have a honey-do list to do. So I do have to get off of here. I appreciate you guys. You guys are my stronghold. So if you stuck through to the end of this video, let me see. Please put in the comments your name and then put "is the best." That way I know that you stayed through the end. If you are Team Replay, put Team Replay and then your name is the best. The pay seems to go down with everything we do. Yeah, everything to do. Yes, Tony B says, be safe. I want you guys all to be safe. Stay safe out there and keep your chin up. I personally, this is what I have done. I just interviewed for another job. I'm still seeking the bus driving job too. I had some snafu because there's so many rules and regulations with the DOT. So, but I'm going back there and I'm going at it. I did part of my training, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to still drive part-time because you can put the money in, but it doesn't pay to be full-time anymore. It's like if your car breaks down or somebody makes up some crazy-ass crap, you end up getting deactivated. Thank you, William. Thank you. And all my buddies are, just so you know, you guys are in here, but there's a lot of people in our groups that we get together, and they're all like, thank you for spreading the word. I put up, if you don't know, I go and put up things at, on poster boards. Even when I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I was putting up stuff to support the cause. And really, this is workers' rights, but this is all workers' rights. So, all right, thank you guys. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. Hustle hard and hustle smart. And if you don't hustle smart, take your broke ass home. Stay safe out there. Driver Lady Pro out. Hasta la vista, baby.